And what's going on, guys? Gale here, coming at you with another video. This one is going to be in regards to the Pocket Dimension, which is entering the game rather shortly. So first and foremost, I do apologize for the sound of my voice. Currently have COVID, so dealing with that. Secondly, I do apologize for the mess that is behind me. Getting ready to start a major home renovation, so that's that. But that being said, let's kind of just jump right into this video, rather. So looking at Pocket Dimension as of the time of recording this video, Pocket Dimension will be starting roughly in about 9 days. My server reset is in about 2.5 hours. So looking at the calendar, the Pocket Dimension will be starting on January 14th at server reset. Depending on where you are in the world, it'll either be that Friday or possibly early Saturday morning for our people in Europe. But anyway, with that being said, I do want to start talking about kind of planning out Pocket Dimension, kind of what avenue I'm taking. Not so much with Kale or Jakaris, as I think they're going to have a much easier time of this. Just kind of looking at the nodes, they don't seem as challenging as expected, and pending any actual gear requirements, it should be fairly easy to get into. Looking at the map, the first essentially 7 nodes seem fairly simple. You're looking at gear tier 12 enemies. Yes, they do have some modified stats and all that stuff, but overall it does look pretty simple. Now, the reason I think people should be kind of looking at Pocket Dimension is, number one, the rewards are really good. Now mind you do not technically get all of these rewards, as of the way MSF.GG reads it. The fully crafted gear, you have a chance at some of it, and we can look at that a little bit more, but overall, it's just, phenomenal gear. Really to kind of help catapult, I think, people into Dark Dimension 5, and, even kind of get further into the Doom 2 raids. So, first and foremost, looking at that, you are going to require characters that have a certain tag. The tag has been in the game since the start of the patch, and that tag is actually going to be the Resolute Tag. And now, depending on what your roster looks like, there are going to be some kind of standout characters that I think really make sense. Some characters that maybe don't make as much sense, depending on where you are in the game. Now, a couple characters I do want to talk about that I am kind of theorizing. One of them will be returning prior to the start of this event, just because of the way the legendary cadence has kind of been, is going to be Omega Red. So if Omega Red is on your horizons, I highly suggest bringing him in. I have been working on Mini to get the Omega Unred unlock, so I do have my 3 Secret Avengers at least at 5 stars, gear tier 12. I also have Winter Soldier at least 5 stars, gear tier 12, and I am currently building up Nick Fury to gear tier 12, and I will have him at gear tier 12 at server reset today. So I will be ready for the Omega Red unlock when he does come around. I've been farming his ISO, so I will have him to be able to get him to ISO 5, just in case that's also, a requirement. But Omega Red, first and foremost, if you are able to unlock him, or you already have him unlocked, he is a phenomenal Dark Dimension character by himself in the Legendary section, so I don't see why he wouldn't perform just as well in this Pocket Dimension, especially with these weaker enemies. The second character that might not be on some people's radar for the free-to-play aspect is going to be Scarlet Spider. And the reason I say he should be on your radar is because his event is actually starting at the time of recording this in about a day and a half. So, his event starts on Friday. So, just about 2 days. Now, the reason I say he should be considered is because of how that was not English, y'all, sorry. Because of how free-to-play friendly his unlock is. And the reason I say that is because you have basically, once his event starts, you have a week to unlock his character prior to the Pocket Dimension starting. And if you're looking at the scoring, you actually get, 2 points for every little bit of campaign energy you spend. And just from doing your daily core spending, so your 4 refreshes, you're looking at roughly, when you're doing those refreshes, you get 120 campaign energy, you times that by 4, you're looking at 480 campaign energy, and, that roughly translates to 960 of the event points. So when you look at that, just doing your first day of core refreshes gets you to this milestone. Day 2, you're basically here. Day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7 would probably get you about here. And that's only if you were just spending campaign energy. That doesn't take into account any of the points you're getting from also spending your power, your training materials. So I think you could probably easily unlock him maybe within 4 days of this event, maybe 5 at the most. That gives you 2 days to kind of level him up and gear him up and get him ready for Pocket Dimension. And, I think overall, as far as a long-term investment, he's obviously, part of the new Web Warriors. They are going to be part of the probably, I would say, future raid content. So whether that's like Doom 3 or whatever they're calling the next set of events, they would also be really good in the alpha raids for the city section, which I know a lot of people are currently struggling with in 4.3. So just really 2 phenomenal characters. If Omega Red is not on the horizons for you, like I said, I do suspect he'll be coming back this Monday. If Omega Red is not on the horizons, we can talk about some other possible 5th characters. The rest, I think everyone kind of does have unlocked in some degree. So first on the list is going to be Cersei. Cersei, phenomenal character in the arena meta right now. She's also a phenomenal raid character in the Mystic section. She performs really well as a Dark Dimension character. So whether you're doing Dark Dimension 4 or working towards Dark Dimension 5, I think she's a strong candidate. Really no wasted gear. Bringing in Scarlet Spider, another one that's going to pair really nicely with him is going to be Miles Morales. Again, a future raid character for the Web Warriors. Not necessarily the best, maybe Dark Dimension character, but definitely a strong candidate for the raids. So any gear kind of putting into him, I think it's going to give you some long-term use. He's also going to synergize really well with Scarlet Spider. So in theory, that technically brings us up to 3 characters if you're not bringing in Omega Red. So another character that I think people can consider taking in, especially if Omega is not an option, would be Multiple Man. Now, Multiple Man, is not necessarily a good raid character. He is an okay Dark Dimension character for City. But by gearing him up, you need him at least at G14 if you plan on locking a 7-star Adam Warlock eventually. So while Adam is certainly kind of fallen off the radar a little bit, he is still a strong Dark Dimension character. He's a good war character. And so, any gear you invest into Multiple Man is going to eventually get you a stronger character. So that's certainly an option. That would kind of bring us up to 4 characters if we're not bringing in Omega. With Mini, I think those are going to be my 5 characters. I think that's going to be Omega, Scarlet Spider, Cersei, Miles, and Multiple Man is kind of the 5 that I'm looking at. But if Omega is not on your radar, or you're not going to be able to get him on his next pass, some other characters you can possibly consider taking in, I think, are going to be Shuri and Misty Knight, in kind of order of usefulness. So Shuri is a decent tech character for the tech Doom raids. I think she is going to be replaced eventually, but any gear kind of put into Shuri, you will get some return from, as she is good in Doom 1 and Doom 2. There is still currently no tech solution for the Doom raid, so she is a usable tech character, and kind of the same thing goes with Misty Knight. Again, she's a tech character. So, she does have some usability in the Doom raids. She's also part of a really strong war defense team, as well as being a potential candidate for the Dark Dimension campaign in City. And I think a lot of this is going to depend on where you have those particular characters. After that, though, I think a lot of the characters kind of fall off a bit on their usefulness. Magic is a possible candidate, just because, as I've said in previous videos, I am planning to take her into Dark Dimension 5 on Kale, just to kind of see how she performs. And she's also a mutant option, and there's not many cosmic mutants that I would probably think about bringing in. But, she's definitely an option. But the other characters, like, these other 5 or these other 6, I really don't think I would kind of consider bringing in, as they don't really have any usability either in raids, war, Dark Dimension characters even. So yeah, I would really kind of consider, this top 4 right here, this top 3. Shuri, Misty Knight, and Scarlet Spider and Omega. Honestly, like I said, if you can get Omega Red or you already have Omega, I think the clear 5 characters are going to be Omega, Scarlet Spider, Cersei, Miles, and Multiple Man. Now, just also in the interest of just kind of looking at what is actually in this pocket dimension and, what the rewards look like and whatnot, I'm going to switch on over to msf.gg. And if you look over here, I do apologize, it is kind of disproportionate and kind of smushed, but you can go over here and you can kind of look, and if, we were to individually click on these, you can look at basically the enemies. They're really all pretty easy up until Mission 8. Mission 8, they jump up to G13. Mission 9, they jump up to G14. And Mission 10, they jump up to G15. But even looking at Mission 15, it's not the hardest thing in the world. Like, looking at these power levels, they don't seem insanely strong. I mean, yes, they do have 25% health boost, 50% damage boosts, but, a 127k Ultron is not that crazy. Looking at this actually is kind of very reminiscent to the final node in Dark Dimension 2, if I'm not mistaken, and I might actually go back and look at that, but, so if you want to look, you can take a look at the enemies. Total power here is 2 million. Total health, just about 4.8. And whereas if you look at, let's just say Dark Dimension 4, and if you look at the final boss, you're talking 91 million health, 7 mil power. So it's really not at the Dark Dimension 4 difficulty. And actually, let's just look. Yeah, I mean, it almost kind of reminds me of Dark Dimension 2 difficulty. Like, if you're looking at the total power and the total health, it almost seems, at least on paper, like Dark Dimension 2. Mind you, the boosts aren't really kind of the same, but you're basically almost kind of dealing with a Dark Dimension 2 Ultron. If you look here, their stats are pretty similar, minus the fact that they've got the 50% damage boost. Whereas here they actually have a minus 25% damage. But, so kind of looking at it on paper, the Dark Dimension, or this Pocket Dimension rather, kind of looks very similar to Dark Dimension 2, as far as actual, power goes, which is interesting to me. I hadn't really kind of compared the two. But what I do want to also talk about, if msf.gg would cooperate with me, I do want to talk about the rewards. And I'm going to pause this for a second, just get this to load back up. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. We are back. So now that I've got this kind of reloaded, I just wanted to kind of go over just kind of like the rewards you can get. So, you know, obviously you are getting Scarlet Spider shards from completing these nodes. So you're getting 10 Scarlet Spider shards, 20 obviously if you do the timed run altogether. You're also getting 150k gold, basically 1 training orb, some silver promos on these first 2 nodes. First 3 nodes, you start getting some superior catalyst parts. And, you know, the rewards are pretty good these first 7 nodes. On node 8 is when you kind of start getting, I think, the better rewards. You know, you get your 4000 T1 ISO 8 fragments, so you've got possibilities for fully crafted green ISO pieces. The more important one, I think, over here, you know, you get your 4000 T2s. So basically, you know, 2 blue ISO orbs, and then the bigger one up here, you know, you get 20,000 ISO 8 credits of the blue variety. So that is essentially 10 blue ISO orbs, and you also get 4,000 ions. So that is going to be 2 ion pulls. So those rewards pretty good. You know, if you do this twice, you're looking at 40,000 blue ISO orbs fragments, so that is going to be 20 blue ISO 8 orb pulls and 8,000 of the ions, so, you know, 4 ion pulls also. But most importantly, what you are going to get is, you know, if you complete it the first time, you're going to get all of this stuff. This is guaranteed. So this right here kind of represents a 5th of a piece of equipment for the Origins. You've got 100 silver promotion credits, which are pretty good, and then you're going to get 8 randomized items, so you can get 8 of any of these things. You know, these are obviously fully crafted teal pieces, these are fully crafted orange pieces. Obviously, hopefully you get more of the teal pieces, or, you know, maybe they divide it, you get 4 orange and 4 teal. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But these fully crafted teal pieces do represent a very significant bit of saving as far as farming goes. And then from that, you're also going to get 500 random catalyst pieces. Again, obviously, the teal pieces are the more desired bit. Now, once you do the initial pass-through, you'll do the timed run. The timed run obviously has the better rewards, as that is the case always with Dark Dimension. So you're going to get 150 gold promo credits, which is enough to take a character to 7 red stars. You're getting 55 Scarlet Spider shards. So in total, in this little pocket dimension, you get 75 Scarlet Spider shards, if I'm doing my math correctly. You're going to get these guaranteed pieces. Again, 15 of the origin pieces, so kind of between the 2 of these, you'll get a 4th of the way, almost a third of, or yeah, just about a 4th of a way to a piece of equipment. And then again, you're going to get 8 randomized items. Again, hopefully more teal than orange, and then you're going to get 625 of these catalyst pieces. So I definitely think this is something that should be on your radar, and you should maybe start working towards, you know, either if you need to start leveling up those Resolute characters, or, you know, gearing them up a little bit. It's definitely something to kind of take into consideration, especially with the Scarlet Spider event starting on Friday. You know, I think once that does happen, I am definitely going to start leveling up Miles Morales over here, and all those training materials will basically go towards unlocking Scarlet Spider. Definitely probably takes Miles to G12. Omega and Scarlet Spider I will take as high as possible. So most likely G15. Cersei is already G15, and as is Multiple Man, because I took him into Dark Dimension 4. So that's kind of where I'll be at with Mini. I think you can definitely probably get away with maybe some G12, some G13s. It's really just going to kind of depend on how long this event goes, and I definitely will kind of get back with y'all and track some progress if y'all are interested. So as always, if you did find this helpful, please like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Hope everyone is having a good week. Stay safe out there and take it easy.